Welcome to our podcast, where we explore fascinating stories and ideas from various fields. In this episode, we uncover how global fossil fuel plans threaten the 1.5 degrees Celsius warming limit. Global fossil fuel production in the next 7 years will be more than double the levels, pushing the world far beyond the climate goals, including the 1.5 degrees Celsius target, set under the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement, said the United Nations and researchers. The UN Environment Programme's Production Gap Report comes ahead of the COP28 climate conference, which will take place later this month, where the future of fossil fuels is set to be a key point of discussion. The report assesses the gap in fossil fuel production cuts and what's needed to meet climate goals. Fossil fuel phase-out is one of the pivotal issues that will be negotiated at COP28, said Ploy Achakulwisut, Stockholm Environment Institute scientist and a lead author of the report, said in a press briefing. She added, "We need countries to commit to a phase out of all fossil fuels to keep the 1.5 degrees Celsius goal alive." Leaders from across the world are set to convene for the global COP28 climate meeting, starting November 30th, in the oil-rich nation of United Arab Emirates. Under the Paris Climate Deal, nations have committed to a long-term goal of limiting average global temperature to less than 2 degrees Celsius, above pre-industrial levels, and even try to limit them further to 1.5 degrees Celsius. However, the report analyzed 20 major fossil fuel producers and found they plan to produce a total of 110% more fossil fuels than what would be consistent with limiting the degree of warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius and 69% more than would be consistent with 2 degrees Celsius. The report also noted that none of the 20 countries, which account for 82% of production and 73% of consumption of the world's fossil fuel supply, have committed to reducing coal, oil, and gas production in line with limiting the warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. This comes as burning fossil fuel has been attributed as the main cause of climate change, as it accounts for most of the planet heating carbon pollution driving global warming. Governments' plans to expand fossil fuel production are undermining the energy transition needed to achieve net zero emissions, throwing humanity's future into question, said UNEP Executive Director Inga Anderson. She also called for nations to unite behind a managed and equitable phase-out of coal, oil, and gas, to ease the turbulence ahead and benefit every person on this planet. The countries analyzed include Australia, China, Norway, Qatar, Britain, the UAE, and the United States. Out of the 20 countries, 17 have pledged to reach net zero emissions, but continue to promote subsidies, support, and plan the expansion of fossil fuel production, said the report. In fact, the US, which aims to reach net zero emissions by 2050, has accelerated domestic production of oil and gas since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Thanks for tuning into this incredible story. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more captivating stories to come. Stay tuned.